You know that moment when you're standing in the baby food aisle, reading every single label, and suddenly you remember those scary headlines about heavy metals in baby food? Your heart just drops, right? Well, today I found out something that completely shocked me. 94% of homemade baby food contains just as many toxic metals as store-bought options. That's right, even when we make it ourselves at home. So, today, I'm walking you through the 6 essential strategies that will actually protect your baby from heavy metals while keeping feeding time simple and stress-free. These 6 proven approaches include the new QR code system that's revolutionizing baby food safety, the DIY testing method that gives you lab-accurate results at home, the preparation technique that slashes heavy metals by up to 60%, the surprising foods you should prioritize instead of avoiding, the budget-friendly brands that test cleaner than premium options, and the one daily habit that naturally detoxes your baby's system. You see, I used to spend hours every Sunday steaming and pureeing organic vegetables, convinced I was doing the absolute best for my babies. I'd judge myself when I reached for a pouch during busy days, thinking I was somehow failing them. But then, researchers found 94% of manufactured baby foods, family foods, and homemade purees made from purchased raw foods contained detectable amounts of one or more heavy metals. The problem isn't how we prepare the food, it's in the soil and water where our food grows. The first thing you should do is start using California's new QR code system, even if you don't live there. So starting this year, every baby food product packaged in jars, pouches, tubs, and boxes sold in California must carry a QR code on its label that consumers can scan to check the most recent heavy metal readings. And here's the beautiful part. Major manufacturers, including market leaders Gerber and Beech-Nut, tell CNN they are rolling out QR codes on baby and toddler foods nationwide. Now, when I first heard about this, I thought, great, another complicated thing to figure out. But it's actually dead simple. You just scan the code with your phone while you're shopping, and boom, you see exactly how much lead, arsenic, cadmium, and mercury is in that specific batch. The AB 899 California bill requires manufacturers to test the final baby food product to a level of 6 parts per billion for each heavy metal, and if the result is over that, manufacturers must specify that number. But here's what they don't tell you. Consumer Reports and Unleaded Kids have partnered to track manufacturers' test results and transparency. And some companies are already gaming the system. So always compare multiple products before buying. And if a company doesn't have their QR codes up yet, that tells you something too. Next, you need to set up your own testing system at home. And I know what you're thinking. Sarah, I barely have time to shower. How am I supposed to become a scientist? But listen, Safe Home Heavy Metals Test Kit will test for all heavy metals in any water-based liquid, including baby formula. You can test your tap water, your baby's formula, even those homemade purees you're so proud of. The kit costs less than a week of premium baby food, and test results are available for you to download within 7 to 10 business days. I started testing everything, my water, different formula brands, even my breast milk. And what I found changed how I feed my babies completely. Because once you know your baseline levels, you can make informed choices instead of just hoping for the best. The third strategy is to master the water cooking method. This one technique can reduce the arsenic content by 40 to 60% in rice and other grains. Here's exactly how. Rinse rice thoroughly before cooking. Cook rice in plenty of water, and then drain off the extra water. Think of it like cooking pasta. Use 6 cups of water for every cup of rice, then drain it all away. And it's not just about rice. For some of these foods, preparation matters. Peeling and cooking can lower the heavy metal content. always peel root vegetables like sweet potatoes and carrots before cooking. I know we've been told the skin has nutrients, but in this case, that's also where heavy metals concentrate. Now that you understand how to reduce exposure, let me share which foods to actually prioritize. See, I used to avoid everything that scared me. No rice, no sweet potatoes, no carrots. My poor baby was living on bananas and avocados. But experts suggested a few easy-to-pack foods suitable for snacking that are very low in heavy metals. Apples, applesauce, unsweetened, avocados, bananas, barley with diced vegetables, beans, cheese, grapes, hard-boiled eggs, peaches, strawberries, and yogurt. The key isn't elimination, it's rotation. The key is to provide your child with a healthy variety of foods in moderation, so they aren't eating too much of one thing. My grandmother always said, "Eat the rainbow," and now science backs her up. When you vary your baby's diet, you're not just preventing heavy metal buildup, you're also ensuring they get diverse nutrients for brain development. Your fourth step is choosing the right brands strategically. And I'm not talking about the most expensive organic options. Some smaller, more niche baby food companies have already carved out a market by meeting the much lower standards for heavy metals that the European Union requires. Brands like Serenity Kids are even more strict than the EU because we have had success over the last 5 years by working those numbers down. But here's the surprising part. Consumer Reports recently tested 41 types of powdered formula, and about half of the samples showed low or no levels of concerning chemicals, showing that there are many good options on the market. You don't need to break the bank. Look for Clean Label Project certified brands. Check those QR codes, and remember, variety is your friend. I saved the most powerful for last, because this completely changed how I think about protecting my babies. The final strategy is building your baby's natural detox system through smart food timing. There are many essential nutrients that support healthy brain development, including DHA, iron, zinc, and vitamin E. When you feed these brain-boosting nutrients alongside potentially contaminated foods, you're actually helping your baby's body process and eliminate toxins more effectively. Here's my routine. I pair higher-risk foods like rice cereal or sweet potato with foods rich in iron and vitamin C. For breakfast, if we're having oatmeal, which is safer than rice cereal, I'll add pureed strawberries for vitamin C. For lunch, sweet potato gets mixed with iron-rich beans. This isn't just about avoiding harm, it's about building resilience. And you know what really gets me? We Caribbean mothers have been doing this instinctively for generations. My mother would always say, "Balance your plate, child." Mixing starches with greens, adding beans to rice, squeezing lime on everything. She didn't know about heavy metal absorption, but she knew about building strong bodies. The truth is, we can't eliminate every risk from our babies' lives. Trust me, I've tried, and all it did was steal my joy and make me an anxious mess at every feeding. But with these strategies, the QR codes, home testing, smart cooking methods, food variety, informed brand choices, and strategic pairing, you're not just protecting your baby, you're teaching them a lifetime of healthy eating. Because here's what I've learned after helping thousands of mothers. Your baby needs a calm, confident parent more than they need a perfect diet. When you have the right knowledge and tools, you can make informed choices without the paralyzing fear. You can grab that pouch on a busy day without guilt. You can serve rice at dinner without panic. You can actually enjoy watching your baby discover new foods instead of dreading every meal. Remember, those scary headlines want you to think you're failing, but you're not. You're here, learning, adapting, and doing your absolute best with the information you have. And that intention, that love you pour into every decision, That's what truly nourishes your baby. If you want my complete heavy metal safety guide with brand comparisons, testing resources, and safe recipe combinations, it's in the description below. Inside, you'll find my personal testing results for 20 popular brands, plus the exact meal rotation I use to minimize exposure while maximizing nutrition. Because you deserve to feed your baby with confidence, not fear.